Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another amazing episode of the Pitchside podcast. And the lineup is amazing as usual. Donna.
Hola.
Sharp.
Sharp Fede.
Number one. El Capitan.
Yes, sir.
How are you, my brother?
Sharp winner.
Amazing. We're looking back at the Yanga game. You guys always say that if you don't win away, at least leave there with a draw.
Don't lose.
Yeah. Very important that.
Yeah, I think it's a very important strategy to be able to put yourself in position to continue to progress within the tournament itself, because sometimes the conditions they always change. I think season after season, so you can't bank on what happened last season to expect to happen this season. So you find that you're always going to find difficult situations for you to be able to perform. And then now with what's happening now, especially for Modise now, it has never happened before, where in the league you're 18 games, but in the season you're more than 40-50 games.
Yeah.
You've got players on top of that are playing possibly over 50 because of the national team. So it's very challenging for you to be able to play at your best every 2 or 3 days and traveling as well. So those were difficult conditions.
Captain, we spoke about it when we had Mamadou Gueye on the show, how difficult it would be there with the humidity and just the hostile crowd, but we still managed to walk away with the draw.
I think such conditions, as Dick was saying, you get used to them.
Yeah.
And you use what you have. And the Champions League tells you that you will go to different countries with different weathers. What you then have to do is to perform your duties, make sure that you win football matches. And we are in a position where we stand a chance of finishing it at home, simply because you didn't lose, you didn't concede in Tanzania. That's a good position, and we saw that they are beatable, even though they were playing at home with the hype of the crowd and of course with a lot of emotions that they were just happening in that field of play. But you see a team that is beatable and coming home, and I think it's just a matter of getting that first goal. And if you work towards that first goal, I think you stand a chance of even winning 3-4 goals.
Gents, what do you think makes it so difficult for teams to beat us at home, especially in Champions League?
It's the mentality. I think also, you know, what the problem is, like we tend to, teams when they come here, they already know the stats. So now within the stats itself, they sometimes implement a little bit of fear in it. So, but also at home, we're most dominant. So let's not take that away. We do have the fans here, the number of fans. And the unfortunate part is you can't come here and control the tempo. You're always going to control the tempo. So no matter what you want to do, you're going to do them at our pace. So it becomes very difficult to beat Mamelodi Sundowns here, and especially with the fans singing and then with the dominance of the players. Well, it becomes very, very difficult. I wouldn't want to play against Mamelodi Sundowns. I wouldn't want to.
A wise man said stats are like a bikini. They don't reveal everything. It's a genuine quote. It's a genuine quote. But it's a genuine thing because no, think about it. You look at the stats and then you come here and you think. I mean, imagine you played. You planned your whole game around the stats, and then you get to Loftus at 3 p.m. Things change.
You're right, because when you have the information that too much information sometimes scares players. And because I remember Teko, when we used to play the Champions League, the teams that we feared the most, they used to intimidate us. And your TB Mazembe at first, when they bullied us in Bombash and even here at home, it's because we knew so much about them. But we neglected the fact that they are a team. They also have their flaws, and they are beatable. And had we focused more on the infield situation and the issues, I don't think they were going to bully us the way they did. So I think the stats that you're talking about, which I don't want to use the bikini part.
You can come with your own one, but that's the one I know about stats.
Is it from Facebook?
No.
Oh, of course.
Wise man.
Wise man. Is the fact in Loftus is a different story altogether because of the dominance that Teko was talking about. And now the advantage is that pitch that you like?
Hybrid.
Yeah. So when it's wet, it's nice because the boys they know that they have to use the ball more, and we saw even in Tanzania when they are closer together, they know how to pass between them, and they know how to play those passes. You can't stop them, and it will be even worse now in Loftus because then the surrounding you are familiar with it. Yeah, you know your bounce. You know there's nothing that frustrates a player that you have to go and adapt in FC Leopards. You don't know the bounce of the ball, but in Loftus you are used to the surface. You know how fast it is at 9 o'clock. I don't think Yanga will come close to Mamelodi Sundowns come Friday.
The games are stacking up. It's coming to that time of the season where you're playing the Premiership, you're playing Nedbank, you're playing Champions League, and we're seeing a great number of players coming back as well from injury. How important is it at this stage then to have squad depth?
Mamelodi Sundowns, fortunately, they're in a very, very fortunate position to be able to actually say that with their chest that they do have depth.
Yes.
Because others have a depth without quality. So Mamelodi Sundowns have that with quality, and having players that have played so many games already.
Yes.
You need to freshen up a little bit, especially focusing on all the tournaments because you're still participating in all of them. And none of the tournament that you're playing has been wrapped. So even the league itself hasn't been wrapped. You've got cup competition, local cup competition that still needs to be played. So there's a lot of games coming through. So the importance of all those players coming back, it gives coaches more options to rest other players. Not only rest other players, but rotate. It's a good stress. No coach, trust me, you rather have a stress of, I've got too many players to play than not have any players to play.
But then does that not then create a problem within the squad to say, this one is playing too many more games than me?
Not Mamelodi Sundowns.
No.
We don't have those type of problems. Mamelodi Sundowns, the team come first. And what's also important is that for players, they know that being given an opportunity to play, it's a privilege because there is someone that is more talented than you on the bench. So we don't have any issues or time to be nursing egos and emotions. Somebody's playing more games than me.
Skipper, how do you think then that foundation was built, right? Because at some stage there were talks of that there is a disgruntled FC, which would be the guys who
such a big word.
Hey, man, officially, hey, you have arrived.
No, man. It would be the guys, but they're training, but when everybody else was training. How do you think then you build to a point whereby the whole team now understands that the team comes first?
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Remember, we're dealing with human beings. And in a space of this nature, it's a competitive space. And I like it when today's word, when they say, be a good person, be a good person. Unfortunately, in a competitive space, you can be a good person, but you have to play. You know what I mean? So you find out the environment says this. But before it wasn't like that. Teko will tell you it was difficult, but then we got into a point where we meet on the certain ground to say there is more benefits when we together than when we individuals. And we saw with the first league when we won it.
Yes.
The players that we brought that we thought they would win us the league, they didn't. You remember? And then we came up with a team of 12 players. I remember 2 players who used to sit on the bench, and the rest was the players that were playing. And we learned that we need everyone because then the players that we thought they will carry us, they couldn't. And the rest of the guys who were not playing, were not part of that system, they had to come and win us the league. So that tells you that in a team of Mamelodi Sundowns, the foundation is laid and everything now is about the badge and everything. And of course, the trophies that are coming is because the team has taken that route to say every trophy is important. And don't ask me now which trophy is important or more important than the other. Teko will tell you, when we were here, the most important thing is to win the medal. And you can see even these boys, when they won the Africa League, it was refreshing for us. We even not playing. We have never even touched what African Cup feel like. But I enjoyed it because I know that they're still working towards making sure that they bring so many trophies in Clorco.
Gents, playing in Africa, especially in Tanzania, a lot of journalists were reporting how difficult it is to win in Tanzania. What do you think makes it that difficult for teams to come to Tanzania and win there?
I think the weather.
Yeah.
For teams to acclimatize to the weather and the fans, they don't make it easy as well.
Yeah.
They make you feel the passion that is there,
love it.
the hostility that is there, which is the competitiveness of football, which I like.
Yeah.
Like, I think I enjoy being the underdog and being bullied, and I think I play better in those circumstances. I really enjoyed it because then I've got something to prove.
Yeah.
So it makes it difficult because of the fans and because of how the team is and how big the team is. But also, you look at how they play. They are playing the more of. I think they are the lead of the Tanzanian football in terms of how they want to see football goes. But then when you come to southern part of this side, is we more ball orientated teams. We want to keep the ball. We no longer use speed as much. We're playing in between the lines. We're playing modern football. What else? On Tanzania's side, it's more about speed, aggression, and which works for them. But then it makes it difficult when you come to their own backyard, when they have fans that dominate and the pitch as well, and the humidity as well. So it makes it very, very difficult.
The Yanga coach was once here, and I mean it's years ago, in excess of 10 years. How much of an impact do you think the knowledge he has from back then, because he did win a league with us when he was here, the knowledge he has of the team, because I know we've gone through so many changes in that space, but the DNA of the team will always remain.
I'm sure you just know that Sundowns is a big team with big ambitions, and that will stuck with his plans every time to know that there's a team that is out there to beat you. So I'm sure in his planning he will think of that first. I don't think he knows the new bouquet,
because he also knows Coach Rulani from back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But a lot of things have changed with
100%.
A lot of players that are now here. I don't think
philosophy as well has improved. Yeah.
So for him, I think he just know from the outside, like anybody else who would watch Sundowns every day when they play, but he doesn't know what's coming. In Loftus.
No, 3 p.m. in Loftus.
Hey, mates, the water be a little bit slippery.
Hybrid has changed things. Chameleon football is happening there with that hybrid.
It's that strategy. I saw it when I was early into. I think I was 18 at the time.
You go to Cape Town.
Cape Town.
Course.
Of course. You go against Ajax. You warm up, the pitch is dry. Restarts, we have one boots. So you have one boots and then you go out. When you come out, the pitch is so wet and you've got no time to change boots. By the time you want to change the boots, it's 2-0 up.
2-0 up. Yeah.
Everybody from Ajax are wearing 6 stars. So Pochenpool, everyone that you know. So that strategy used to work for them. But you get to this point of Mamelodi Sundowns. I remember even Hlompho will tell you, Coach Peter used to say, we'll wait here. At some point, we were like, come on, guys, I want everybody to start training with 6 stars. I never played with 6 stars. My ankles were bad.
6 stars.
And then I started playing.
It was nice, eh?
Yeah. Then I started enjoying it and I started understanding it. But then the pitch being watered, even in Champions League with us, under him, we used to do that. So wherever we playing, pitch must be wet, because you must understand we used the strength that we have, the advantages that we have.
Yes.
Because when we go that side, it's so hot you can't even use a 6 star. So you make it wet here because they don't have the tools to play under wet surfaces.
So I guess then the timing of also when the pitch is watered, because you can let everyone come out for warm up.
Yeah,
then when they go back.
When it's about the Red Bull,
it's a lemodi with the team scene. King L.
Spring. I gotta get DJ.
So DJ Sanzu already moves. What practice on it?
No, it's iyavela le ndaba kancane kancane.
No, it's a good strategy though, because as a footballer you need to be able to adjust, but unfortunately in Champions League not all of us have are exposed to good surface pitch. Some of them they're just used to AstroTurf. So when they come here, they come with new boots they haven't been used to get. You see, so you find Mutu Canada and Tanzanian, those are boots that have never been used. So the chances are you might get injured in the game because you've never trained with them. So it's one of those small things, but they're details.
Who used to say, I don't want to see new boots on match day.
I
know, I've never seen this on training.
Yeah, what about I'm bleeding? I better train with them first.
So it's like you can't try new things in CAF Champions League. For example, the story we always hear of captain and no socks. No Saya gaming.
Oh my goodness.
Could
reveal of secrets. Watch him. What do you mean next part the close?
No, but
Modise was here. Modise was here. Not Kenya goes. Oh, thank you, Teko.
Oh, today what do you mean?
No Kenya goes. How? Teko was there.
I think Yapele that actually went in. It was at Orlando Stadium. I think that was the first one that really went in. Before again,
how really went in? What happened to the rest of them?
No, but you must understand when for instance, Hlompho at that time, he was famously for those diagonal balls. And I know shooter.
No, he played with me.
No, but
because he was telling people that I don't have a celebration, but let's go.
Yeah, no celebration because I understand.
But anyway,
thank you.
Again, I still
you're still talking about the diagonal balls. Then tell him.
And then we went to Orlando Stadium because I've seen him taking a shot outside the box, wara, and I've seen him score in friendlies, but in an official game, especially in a big game like Orlando Pirates, that's the first time I saw him score a long range like that. Then after that, he couldn't stop.
But what was the reason for me to do that? Do you know? That day, yeah.
Not
No, it's because that match was too tired. And normally, remember my position was always when you step in, I must cover.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
No, but also we knew the goalkeeper.
Yes.
So
but
we knew the goalkeeper.
But at the time, it was the late Senzo.
No.
Teko laid the pass, nice pass with the
left. But it wasn't Senzo.
No.
Guys, I'll go to my new smartphone. I'll reveal my new smartphone. Teko, when you pass the ball with your left foot in Orlando, when we won 1-0.
Yeah. Out orange.
Yeah. The coach, the goalkeeper was the late Senzo.
Really? I thought Nil Mayo.
No, Mayo. Mayo gave that time when he set up from center line and then I hit.
Oh, okay.
And the block as well.
You've done so many, so I don't remember who is who. But I remember.
But the celebration was
no,
the
you didn't have a celebration.
No snayon. Unfortunately, no snayon.
And I said this to you on Pichis or no, people must comment.
But I just like how he summed it up. I didn't know that I was going to score.
No.
So that's why.
No such chance. No such chance.
Yeah.
Gents, having played the draw away, coming back home, what do you think we need to do differently?
I think we have to use the ball well. And the pitch will allow us to do that.
Yeah.
The other thing is to force issues a little bit. And when I say force issues a little bit is to try to look for that early goal.
Yes.
And of course it will make midfielders to lose a lot of passes trying to play forward passes, but there's more benefits when you do that. Okay, we can't speak the tactics, we are not coaches. But what I'm trying to tell you is, if you force a little bit of issues, then you stand a chance of getting that early goal. And I don't think Yanga will have answers after someone scores.
They don't. But also, like Hlompho, right? Like my question is like, I don't see Yanga coming here trying to play different. They're not gonna try and force us to play differently. They're not going to try and win the ball back and compete from a positional point of view, but they're going to wait for their opportunities. But now when you're playing against a team that waits, you need to put your foot on the neck.
All the time.
And now it's that's why it's so important now for the players to be refreshed on that day, for the coach to have full squad that he can pick from. Because even though everybody's important in Mamelodi Sundowns, every player is key, but there's players that they've got that thing that can make things happen.
What did I say, sir?
Within those games, and those are the players that we need.
For clearing that out.
Yeah,
because there's players that will give you balance.
Yeah, now players to balance. Now let's say the
dressing room
becomes nutty when they're there. They're team players, but unalabana source.
Yeah.
And that's it. Don't count them go start in Sosa.
No. But they're not sufficient. They give you that. Yeah. They give you 5 forward passes, 4 of them are goals.
But you never see them.
We want to pass it's like we're going to next time.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Score prediction.
Sundowns will score 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0.
2-0 comfortably.
0.
Okay.
0 at the back. One each half.
One each half.
Just to make it interesting. Just to give
Yeah, because after one goal is scored, the game opens up.
Yeah, but I don't think they have the capabilities to open that up, especially in the first half.
Yeah.
Because then when you play against Sundowns, you always want to have a hope, especially in Champions League, you want to have hope or I might come back in the second half. So just for interest's sake, because of this tournament is very huge. So we want at least to maybe see them a little bit compete, but I think it's a game that Mamelodi Sundowns might score.
Then as you say, they don't show like a team that will have answers after the goal. No. You would expect Sundowns to have a party there.
Yeah.
Do you guys think that Sundowns is under pressure to win the Champions League this year?
Since we won it.
Since we won it. We had a pressure to win.
To win something that we didn't know that it's possible.
And then we win it. And we were still having pressure to win it again.
Exactly. So
because we had players to do that, and we showed that we are capable of doing it. So imagine even now we still have.
And I also think like with Sundowns, like with everything that is happening in South African football, with Bafana what they did in AFCON, with Sundowns where they are position wise from the number, the votings and the ratings of the clubs in Africa. For Sundowns to get to that immortality conversation, to get to the grades of the grades, they have to win Champions League again.
Well, I guess it's important as well because then it speaks to the Club World Cup.
I want imagine Mabena, imagine your but the younger ones playing against your Modric, your Toni Kroos, just in Jay walking in the same tunnel.
Yeah.
Because I know what it did for me, so I can just imagine them. So you want those young boys to dream that far, and to also encourage them and make them aware. It's really possible, guys. It's not too far.
Yeah. And when you caught and you ran with it, Like 2010. No, it's
a nice feeling actually, right, Teko? Because remember, after rubbing shoulders with those guys, or even having the same.
No, I know what you mean. It changed how I looked at football.
Yeah, sure.
When playing against your Busquets,
I've
never had so much difficulties in my life trying to figure out.
How to. I remember when you played 11 o'clock in Australia. Was it Australia? When you came back and you were telling me that you have never seen a player that looks lazy but he doesn't lose the ball.
No, it was impossible. It makes no sense.
And he didn't know about him.
No.
You knew with Chavi.
I knew the superstars.
What happened?
But then when I came back, like when it's like I think somebody's like Langama Foga Naves. A wise man once said, for you to see football, you must look at Busquets. You see the whole game. Don't watch the whole game because you won't see him. So you must look at Busquets and you will see the whole game. That guy is amazing, and I can just imagine. Look at me, and also look at the way I used to play before 2010, and look at me after 2010. I transitioned. I started playing differently, but because of the influence that I got playing amongst those guys, so I can just imagine the young ones that we speak about.
Do you think the World Cup then changed your entire perspective on things for you to then say, I became a different player after the World Cup?
Yeah, because then because the World Cup is so heavy in a sense. It's the biggest stage of them all. So now you're playing with players that are so clever that you don't even know they're clever. So Bobulela space, like then it became that Sundowns. Here's the thing. After that, we actually had conversations. Once you look down trying to pass, we intercept because those are experiences that you get in national team when playing against those big teams. Because then you see that players they don't have to cover 40 meters to defend. They just position themselves very well, anticipating very well.
So I guess then it speaks of the importance then of playing Champions League year in, year out, of going to the Club World Cup, for the younger ones to be able to come in, find themselves as players, as individuals, to then be able to excel for the team moving forward, because that's how the baton is passed on.
And it's not only that.
Yeah.
When you're playing in those games, there's details that you pick, like Teko is saying. For us to open the space or for players to play in between us, we know there's so many players that they can't play that space. But we allow them to have that space, to think they have it. And you speak about Pushket and Xavi and them. They used to win and dominate midfielders. But none of them will go down and slide again. But they win football matches. They win football matches, and they even dominate. Yeah. Pushket was intercepting balls. How I understand him. Cruz, as you say.
Yeah.
He was the master of intercepting.
And he still is even today.
And he still is even today. But there is because of he's been exposed to that space for longest of time. Teko is speaking about World Cup. After World Cup, you're no longer going to be the same.
No, you can't.
No, after you've been exposed to that, you'll never be the same. The Club World Cup itself, even the players that are playing in the Champions League now, that's why you see Mamelodi Sundowns players when they go to the national team, you have to rely on them,
on that experience that you get.
Because they've been exposed to every kind of situation and environment. So give them that opportunity to do it for you.
And if we play and if we continue on this path, I'm definitely sure by the end of the season or next season we'll have 15 players in the national team.
Barcelona win the World Cup in
that's
South
what I'm
Africa.
saying. That's what the dominance should be. Because I remember as well that when the national team was called up, there used to be few of us here. I got now signed a contract that I'll never play for national team. But when the national team was called up, there used to be like few players at the ground. Which is true. I'm just saying.
But it was nice.
But you want that. You want when national team, when international break, you want less players there to be able to train with the younger ones.
Sure.
So I think with the way the Sundowns are playing, the way they dominating now. And we're not talking about South African football anymore. We're talking about African football.
Yes.
The dominance that they have, it's just about time we just cross the borders and start tapping into the Europe market as well. And if that happens, when that happens with the younger players that we have, trust me, it's going to change how they look at football.
One of the rumors is that
rumor has it.
Okay, well.
No. Rumor has it
that the reason you stopped playing for national team is because you had more sponsors than the national team.
I
don't see anything on the table. True or false? Please help us.
False.
Is it false?
No, false.
Oh.
I didn't retire playing for national team. Yes. I didn't retire, but I had to make a promise that I wouldn't be called for national team anymore.
Okay. So it wasn't the sponsor.
We're not saucy.
No, I'm on the ground. So I must listen to what people are saying on the ground.
But we had sponsors at the time when I left the national team.
Yeah, marabar wena uvailele tsona. Ungshayile hijack stories wakalani sponsors then. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We're looking forward to it. Big game on Friday. Loftus, please come through in your regalia. Let's make sure that Yanga feel the drum, they feel the noise. Let's support the team so we can go on to the next stage in the CAF Champions League. As we all know, it is a very important one for us to win this year. Yeah. This is the Pitchside podcast. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us your comments. We are Masandawana.